Tiger Garagin, shares of Genpact have been going up for the past few months, while the S&P is going down. Tell me what's driving the stock.
I would attribute it as assumed to performance, hopefully. We had a great first quarter, 30% growth in net income, 30% growth in adjusted operating income, 30% growth in revenues, and those help. We beat consensus, we beat our start to the year guidance, so all that makes the stock go up, I suspect.
Well, a lot of that growth is coming from Europe. Now, Europe's going through austerity. A lot of people are complaining about Europe, but you're doing good business over there. How are you doing it?
We've had actually a great run in Europe for the last 24 months, and as we think about the next 12 to 18 months, we feel good about Europe, and driven by three things really. We were always small in Europe, so I think now we're getting a little bigger. When you're small, you don't get hurt that easily. Second, we invested in a sales team and a front-end team about 3 years back, and in our business, it takes time to ramp up. And third, we didn't have much exposure to financial services in Europe.
Now, what is your exposure to the government here in the US? Because as we heard from Cisco not too long ago, the government's cutting back on a lot of purchases. How would that affect Genpact?
So directly, we don't have any exposure to government services. We don't do government services, actually pretty much anywhere in the world. But indirectly, I suspect everyone gets impacted. If the government spend goes down, companies like Cisco would probably get lesser revenue. They spend less money. I suppose it'll have a ripple down effect.
Well, how would you be affected by a cutback at General Electric? Because you were spun off from them, and they probably still compose a pretty big portion of your business. What is it now, and are you trying to lower it just to kind of spread your bets?
It used to be 100% of our business when we spun off in January 2005. We're now about 26, 27%. We continue to grow with GE, single digits, low single digits. We'd like to continue to grow. So we don't have a target number that we'd like to get GE down to. I don't have a problem if GE grows and grows so much that actually the proportion goes up a little bit. But in reality, given our penetration, it'll be slow growth versus global clients, which is much faster growth.
Right now, who would you say your biggest competitors are?
Accenture, IBM are probably the two that we compete most with. And then there are a whole slew of competitors depending on the different domains.
And is there a service that customers are requesting the most right now?
Interestingly, I would pick what we call smart decision services, which is a fascinating set of services. One, redesigning processes to make them run better and produce better outcomes. Two, taking data and building insights. And Greg, the amount of insights out in the world, and people want data to be used. So we're seeing 40% plus growth in those service lines, actually for the last 24 months, and we see that happening in the future as well.
This market is
stock pickers market.
Stocks have rallied this year.
We're coming into a Monday where we're getting